Hey guys, Sean Media just want to do a big shout out to Rugby League Coffee Lounge. All the best this year, 2020.
Alright, oh yeah! Fuck!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to part 3 of the NRL 2023 predicted teams. Now, I've done part 1, I've done part 2, and tonight we're going to be doing part 3. So we're going to be doing the Sharks best 1 to 17 for the 2023 NRL season, in my opinion. We're going to be doing the Dragons best 1 to 17. We're going to be doing the Seagulls, and we're going to be doing the Bulldogs. But before I get into tonight's live stream, I want to say hello to everybody that is in the live chat. We have a very nice crowd building up here. Hello, SS Storm fan. Hello to Josh Rabbitohs 2023. Peter Bulldogs is here. We've got Jason Reader. We got Rishi from the UK there. SS Storm fan, Pro Enzo Vids, CJ Moxley. Devils _Psy. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. We're getting a nice crowd in here for your Sunday night, January 29th, 2023. Unbelievable. I can't believe how quick the month of January is gone. We've only got 2 more days, and then we'll be in February. So outstanding. We got the first we've got an NRL trial game on Saturday. Broncos versus Wynnum. I'll be doing a preview for that. Maybe a live stream for the game. We'll see how we go. But footy season is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Well, let's just get into it. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the best 1 to 17 for 4 clubs tonight. Bulldogs, Seagulls, Dragons, and Sharks. And we're going to start straight away. And we're going to start with the Bulldogs best 1 to 17 for season 2023. Let's begin. Now, this is not the NRL's predicted team. This is my predicted team. This is the best 1 to 17 for the Bulldogs, in my opinion. You can agree, you can disagree. Let me know in the live chat if you disagree with some of the selections, who you would replace with. And let me know in the comment section if you're watching it as a video, not a live stream. Let me know what changes you'd make. All right, let's go to the Bulldogs. Fullback, Hayes Parham. On the wings, Jacob Kiraz, and the Fox, Josh Adokar. In the centres, Braden Burns and Jake Avarillo. 5'8", Matt Burton. Halfback, Kyle Flanagan. The front row of Tavita Pangai Jr. and Luke Thompson. The hooker is Reid Marnie. The back row of Viliame Kikau and the newly appointed Bulldogs captain, Raymond Fatala-Mariner. The lock is Ryan Sutton. And on the bench, Farmunu Brown, Max King, Franklin Pele, and Jackson Tapine. I think that's the best 1 to 17 for the Bulldogs for the 2023 NRL season. I think Hayes Parham is probably more suited to the fullback position. I was leaning towards Avarillo, but I think Parham at fullback. I think he'll suit that style with Matty Burton and Reid Marnie in that fullback position. I think Avarillo will play centres because obviously with Stephen Crichton going to the Bulldogs for 2024, Avarillo, if he wants to stay at the Bulldogs, he's going to have to play a different position, and I think centre might be the spot for him. I think Braden Burns is a very good centre. I think he'll do a job. Adokar and Kiraz. Adokar picks himself. Kiraz, a very fine young talent. I think Pangai Jr. might play in the front row. I think he's more suited to the front row. In the back row, he gets wasted a little bit too much. So you start with Pangai and Thompson in the front row. I think things will look good. Kickouts a no-brainer. Fatala-Mariner will obviously start in the back row because he's the Bulldogs captain. And Ryan Sutton. I think Ryan Sutton is suited to that lock position. He can ball play really well. I think he will suit that role well. And off the bench, I think Max King and Franklin Pele coming off the bench is that front row rotation. I think that'll work out quite well. Jackson Tapine to come on into the middle for Ryan Sutton. And Famunu Brown, I guess he's a bit of cover for Reid Marnie, and he can come on and play a bit of lock if need be. He's a very good 14. He proved his value at the West Tigers last year. He played really well in a struggling side. So overall, I think that's the best Bulldogs 1-17 that I could come up with. So we'll move on from the Bulldogs now, and we'll move on to the Manly Warringah Seagulls. The boys out at Brookie. Manly have got some great options in the outside backs. I've got some depth. So let's just go through the Manly 1-17, and you guys can let me know what changes you'd make for the Seagulls. So fullback, Tom Trbojevic. On the wings, Jason Saab and Christian Tupulotu. In the centres is young Kuala. I think it's Talatu Kuala, hard to pronounce, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The young speedster, young Kuala in the centres, along with Ruben Garrick as the other centre. 5'8", Josh Schuster, halfback, Daly Cherry Evans. The front row of Tanela Paseka and Josh Alaway. The hooker, is Lachlan Croker. The back row of Hamoli Olakawatu and Kelma Tulangi. The lock is Jake Trbojevic. And on the bench, Jersey 14, Kyle Lawton, Sean Kepi, Tafawa Sipley, and Ethan Bullymore. Now, I think that's a fairly good side for the Manly Seagulls. I think the back line have got some options. No Morgan Harper, no Brad Parker. I think Saab returns onto the wing. I think Tupulotu was way too good for New South Wales Cup. I think Ruben Garrick is a must. He has to be in the team somewhere. And I think Kuala has a bit more potential than Morgan Harper and Brad Parker. I could be wrong about that. Kuala is a gun. I think his speed and his agility gets him over the line over Morgan Harper and Brad Parker. But we'll have to wait and see how they go. Saab might not be, from all reports, Saab won't be fit for round one, but when he comes back, I think he's definitely on the Manly Seagulls wing. I think Paseka and Alloway will be the front row pair. The back row picks itself. The lock picks itself. I think Kyle Lawton coming off the bench for Lachlan Croker with that hooker rotation will work out well. Kepi and Sipley coming on in the middle. Ethan Bullymore will probably get more time this year under a new coach with Anthony Seibold there. So overall, I think that's the best 1-17 for the Manly Seagulls for the 2023 NRL season. We'll see how they go. Let's move to the Dragons, the Red V. Now, the Dragons, I think most of their team picks itself, but there were a lot of tough choices here. The Dragons don't have a lot of depth. If the Dragons get injuries, they're going to struggle this year. That's a fact. Anyway, let's go to the Dragons' best 1-17. Fullback, Tyrell Sloan. On the wings, Michaeli Ravalawa and Matthew Feagai. In the centres, Zach Lomax and Moses Suley. In the halves, 5'8", Jaden Sullivan, halfback Ben Hunt. The front row, I've gone with Francis Mollo and Jack DeBellin. The hooker is Jacob Little. The back row of Ben Murdoch, Masilla and Jaden Sewer. The lock is Jack Bird. And on the bench, Jersey 14, Moses Mbai, Aaron Woods, Blake Laurie, and Tyrell Fui Maano. Now, the Dragons, they've got a few headaches. Obviously, Cody Ramsey's out for the whole year now, so I suspect Tyrell Sloan's the best man for the job at fullback. I think Feagai will get that wing spot over Tautai Moga, but we'll have to wait and see. That whole Amone situation where he stood down, I think Sullivan's the next best choice for 5'8". I think Mollo and DeBellin in the front row works out well. Jack Bird at lock is the best decision. I think DeBellin is more suited to the front row with his ball-playing ability. I think Ben Murdoch-Matilla deserves to start back row with Jaden Sewer. The bench, honestly, I don't want to be critical of the Dragons because I have a soft spot for them. The Dragons' bench is extremely weak. I think Woods is washed up. He's old, slow. I did meet Aaron Woods in person last year. Very nice guy, but he's getting old. I think he's near retirement. Blake Laurie, a bit of a blob. No, I don't go much on Blake Laurie. Tyrell Fuimaano, probably their best forward on the bench, to be honest. He does a good job, you know, in the back row and in the lock position. And Mbai, look, a lot of people shit on Moses Mbai, but I rate Mbai. He does the job. He's a great utility. He can play any position you put him in. He'll do the job for you. So for me, that's probably the best Dragons team I can come up with. There isn't really, I mean, Josh Kerr probably misses out. For me, Michael Mollo misses out. Moga misses out. It's tough for the Dragons. I've got some headaches, but I'm just saying if they get injuries, they're in trouble. But I think that's the best Dragons team for the 2023 NRL season. Move on to their rivals now. The final team for part 3, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. Up Cronulla, as I say. Let's go to the Sharks' best 1-17. Most of this team is pretty easy to predict, and I think it's pretty easy, the Sharks. So let's go. Fullback, Will Kennedy. On the wings, Sione Katoa and Ronaldo Mulatalo. I love Ronaldo Mulatalo. He's a weapon. In the centers, Jesse Ramian and Sia Fatalakai. In the halves, 5'8", Matt Moylan. Halfback, Nico Hines. The front row of Braden Hamlin-Uele and Toby Rudolph. The hooker is Blake Brayley. The second row of Britt Nakora and the experienced Wade Graham. The lock is Dale Finucane. And on the bench, Cameron McGuinness, Royce Hunt, Oregon Kafusi, and Teague Wilton. Now, the back line picks itself. It's an absolute no-brainer. I think Connor Tracy is the unlucky one to miss out. Moylan and Hines pick themselves. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the Sharks do with the front row. Will they start Royce Hunt over Hamlin-Uele? I'm going to say no. I think Hamlin-Uele is more suited to the starting side. Royce Hunt off the bench, probably a bit more impact. Wade Graham starting in the back row over someone like Teague Wilton might be a bit bold for some people, but I think with the experience of Wade Graham, he's probably the best man to start. I think Teague Wilton's more suited to the bench. They might swap that out. Wade Graham might go to the bench with Teague Wilton to the back row. It wouldn't surprise me if I did do that, but I think experience purposes, Wade Graham's best started in the second row there. Finucane will start at lock. McGuinness, he's the jersey 14. He can come on and play lock. He can play hooker. He can play prop if need be. He can play back row as well, McGuinness. So I think he's the Sharks 14. Royce Hunt and Oregon Kafusi will be the front row rotation with Hamlin-Uele and Rudolph getting a breather. McGuinness going into the middle, and Teague Wilton probably goes on for Wade Graham when he gets a bit tired. So that's probably the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks' best 1-17 for the 2023 NRL season. Well, guys, we've now done 12 teams. We've got 5 more to go. I'll be doing the rest of them tomorrow night. So stay tuned for the other 5 tomorrow night for part 4 of the NRL 2023 predicted teams. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get on out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic Sunday night. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, guys, take care. Have a great night.